Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to FTB Beyond from the CreedCraft server. So it's been a couple of days since I've been able to be on the server. We've had some major issues, and I'm not sure what they were, but the server kept crashing on us. Hopefully that has been resolved now. But what I wanted to work on today was to get a little bit further into Botania. Now, the mana generation system that I put in here, it's kind of a novel system, but it's not very effective. It doesn't really produce much mana, so we are going to be trying to upgrade our mana production. But in order to do that, we're going to have to do a little bit more stuff with Botania. And one of the things that I really want to be able to get is some Elven mana spreaders so that we can move mana a lot faster. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to set up the Elven portal, and yeah, we're just going to have to take a look at this and see exactly how we do that. I don't remember right off the top of my head. Oh, having a hard time with talking right now. So we are going to have to get a few things here. We're going to have 8 living wood blocks, 3 glimmering living wood blocks, and an Elven gateway core, as well as 2 mana pylons and 2 natura pylons. So we're going to have to get some terra steel nuggets, which means we're going to have to make a little bit more terra steel because I don't have any right now, which means a lot of work with the endo flames. So what I'm going to do right now, I am going to make a couple of pieces of terra steel, and hopefully then we'll be able to continue on with getting this portal set up. So I have made a substantial amount of mana, as well as making up a few of the items that we need, most notably the natura pylons. Now these things are fairly simple to make. You need a mana pylon first. It's a mana diamond, 2 mana steel, and 2 gold for each one. And then the natura pylon is 3 terra steel ingots, a mana pylon, and an eye of ender. And I am seeing a lot of waiting on server. But so I've made those up. I also made the glimmering wood. Uh-oh. That's not good. I sure hope the server didn't crash. Well, it shows that I'm still there. So this may take a little bit to get logged back on. I'm not sure what just happened. So thankfully the server is back up. Now we did figure out a few things. We had some items that were despawning but not despawning on the server, and so it was causing major lag issues. But also Apache had some problems with bedrock disappearing under his base. And we found out that that has to do with Woot. And so that is a big problem. It just deletes sections of blocks down at almost the bottom of the world. Big problem there. But we've kind of got it resolved. Hopefully we won't have as many problems now. But I've been thinking while I was redoing the stuff that I had to make, because we did have to do a little bit of a rollback on what type of build I was going to do here for this mana generation area. And I think I'm going to experiment with the Elven build style that I'm hoping to use at the mountain. And so what I have decided is it's going to be a lot of living rock, and I'm going to use some lime green clay. If we take a look at this, lime, not line, lime green hardened clay tiles. Now this kind of looks like corroded copper or tarnished copper, however copper happens to do it. But it would make it look like a copper roof, and we can use stairs, we can use slabs, and we can use full blocks. So it will make the building a lot easier. But getting hardened clay is a little bit of a problem here because we don't have a mesa biome anywhere nearby. So I was looking at ways that I could get hardened clay, and I can do it with the smeltery. So what I found out is that if I put a stack of smooth stone and 16 ice, there we go, and 16 ice, and then a stack of dirt into the smeltery, it will give me 16 blocks worth of molten clay. Now that molten clay we can then pour into the casting basins, and it makes hardened clay blocks. Now you can also pour that into a casting table with the ingot mold, and it will make bricks, so you can make bricks really easy as well. So we now have our water in here, and once the stone gets smelted, we can drop the rest of the dirt in here. Drop a little bit of dirt in right now. But it very rapidly turns this seared stone, water, and molten dirt that we'll be getting in just a bit into the hardened clay, or the liquid clay, molten clay, whatever it's called. And then we can just go through and pour that stuff out. So you can see we get the liquid or the molten clay quite easily. So that's what I'm going to be doing for that. I'm going to let that sit in there for a little bit, and we are going to now build the portal here. Now this is something that Apache set up for people that had lost their Terra Shatterers. I believe only Apache lost his. I don't know if Kylo did or not, because he hasn't been on yet. But I'm going to put the Elven portal above the mana generation area here, because this area is going to be removed, and we're going to put our new mana generation area over here. And that's going to allow us to have a little bit more centered build. I didn't want to get too close to Kylo, and so that's where we're going to put that. Now I think I'm going to put the portal clear back here. So we should have everything we need for the portal. We need some living wood. We need the glimmering living wood. We need the Elven gateway core. We also need 2 mana pools, and we'll have to put our mana tablets in there to fill them. And then we have the Natura pylons. So to build this, we put 2 living wood and an Elven gateway core, and then we put living wood going up. And actually this one should be a glimmering living wood, and then the same thing over here, and then we need to connect the two. And once again, this one should be the glimmering living wood. And so this will actually complete the portal, and I'm going to break out these blocks in the corners because really they are not needed. And I think this makes the portal look a little nicer. Now, I don't know if we have any way to make decent looking living wood wedges, but I know that we can make living wood stairs, and I might put those on the corners. I don't know. I'll just have to see what that's going to look like. But so there's that part. Now we need the mana pools, and I think later on I'm going to put the mana pools slightly different. Now, I can't remember where these have to go. I know there's a specific location for them, and that's not what I wanted to do. I need my Lexica Botania. So let's take a look at this. Let's go back. So the portal to Alfheim. Okay, so we want to visualize this, and we're going to do this right here. Well, okay, so that's the anchor block. Okay, well, it doesn't show me. Okay, whoops. I did not want to bookmark that. Okay, so they just have to be in an 11 by 11 area around the core, so that's no problem. So I think I'm going to put these mana pools, one right here and one right here. Now we need our mana tablets, and these should be set up to absorb mana right off the bat. So we're going to grab 4 mana tablets and fill these up fairly close to full with mana. Now we just place our Natura pylons on top of that, and I believe the last step is to click on the gateway core with the wand, and there we go, World Calling. So this will slowly use mana, and so we're going to have to get something set up here to deliver mana directly to these pools, but this gives us some stuff, so we'll toss our Lexica Botania through there. We get it back, and now it has the Elven Guard information. And I've looked through this in Hermit Pack, and I don't think anything has changed, but we do have a few more things now. So the resources of Alfheim, we can trade quite a few of our resources for ones that we can't get otherwise, like Dreamwood, the Elementium, Pixie Dust, Dragonstone, Elven Quartz, and Alf Glass. And those are some of the things that we can do with the portal. Then there's also the Rituals of Gaia and the Relics of Aesir, but neither of those are going to really be too important for us right now. So we have our portal now, and I think now I'm going to do a little bit more making of that molten clay, gather up a lot more living rock, and then I will start building the actual building around this portal. So I'm gonna get that done, and I'll be back in a little bit. So I was thinking of making this Botania building out of the living rock and living wood, and the more that I looked at it, the more I tried to build it, the more I decided I don't want to use this stuff. Now, it will have some places to be used on the interior, but the exterior, the living rock, it's got too much of this brown texture in it, and it makes it look old and weathered, and I don't really want that look. So instead we're going to be going with marble and quarried stone on this, and the next thing that I decided is going to probably make a few of you a little bit angry with me, and I know it's not going to make me very happy either. We're going to be doing this with chisels and bits. So this is going to take a lot, and I mean a lot, of time. Now thankfully I have a little bit of time that I can work on this, but I want this to be an Elven style build, and well, honestly the elves would have a build style like I'm wanting to do that's very elegant, very flowing, very intricate, because their life is such that time doesn't have the same hold on them that it does on humans, so their builds kind of reflect that. Their builds kind of feel timeless, like they could spend all the time in the world on them. So I'm going to try doing a little bit of experimentation here with these two types of blocks. Hopefully I'll get something that looks decent, and yeah, I'm just going to pick up these. I guess I should be able to do same material. Yeah, that's the one that I want, because then that picks up whole blocks at a time. Now I have one of each here, and basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start kind of working out a little bit of a shape here. I want to kind of have this shape where it comes out in the back, and we're probably going to move the portal a little bit further back into this area. But yeah, I'm going to start working on that, and I'll be back hopefully with a little bit of progress. So this definitely has a much better feel for an Elven style build. Now, I have been doing a little bit of experimentation with detail here, and looking at this edge, you can't really see it. If you look really hard, you can see it here. There's a line that runs through here, and then kind of like a Y shape here. But as you move around here, that really stands out. So that is really cool. All that is, I'm using marble for the base, and then I'm using the quarried stone for the little stripes, and that indicates little streaks in the marble of different material, and so we can really add a huge level of detail with that. And I have a bit here that's not supposed to be there. But now another thing, this kind of stands out a little too much to me. This is a stone bit, and it's meant to kind of indicate a little bit of shadow. And like I say, it's just a little bit too strong. I might want to switch to like a light gray wool or something like that. Something that is just slightly darker than this. But without that, you can't really notice the edges of this. Well, it's not really a pillar. It's just a little bump on the corner. But these are going to go up for quite a ways. I'm going to put a lot of these little details like this into it. Now, I have made a few of these chisel patterns. Now, these are fairly easy to make. They're just a piece of lapis, a piece of paper, and a water bucket. Now, I already have the water bucket system set up here, so this is really easy for me to make. So I just come in here, I take a piece of paper, I take a piece of lapis, and then I grab a water bucket out of there, and I can make my chisel patterns. So yeah, I can work with that just about any way I want. I also have some basalt chiseled bits here, and they really do not fit in. But I'm going to have to be doing a little bit of work with simulated lighting, because as we go up to the top, we're going to want various areas to appear to be in shadow, even though the lighting system in Minecraft will not give an adequate shadow. So I am going to keep working on this. I have no idea how much time is left in the episode, but I'm going to keep working on this for as long as I can, and hopefully we'll have some really good results to show here in a little while. Several hours of chisels and bits later, I have something here. Don't exactly know what to call it, but yeah, it's not looking too bad. I've put a little bit of detail into this wall here, put the little streaks that I was talking about, and I need to put more of those in. I put this little vining bush. I don't know what I think of that. I ask you guys what you think of it. I can take it out pretty easy, but yeah, I'm kind of liking the way that it looks. It does kind of draw attention to it, but I don't know. This up here, I made a little bit of chiseled detail into the sides of it here, and I like it, but it's going to be really difficult to put onto these sides here, as well as this arch. Now, the arch looks really good, but like I say, it's going to be really hard to do on a diagonal. But I think I'm going to take a break from that, and we're going to go on to the Elven mana spreaders now. Now, to make those, we need, if I can find it here again, where did they go? Right here. We need Dreamwood and Elementium. Now, Elementium we get by putting 2 mana steel through the Elven trade portal. So if we drop that through there, we get an Elementium ingot. And the Dreamwood we get by dropping Living Wood through. So we're going to get enough to make 1 mana spreader. And then we need the petals. And we'll just use some petals in here. That thing just keeps running away from me. So there we go. There is an Elven mana spreader. Now these will move a lot more mana than these guys here. So what I want to do is find out how much mana these actually can handle. So I'm going to place this mana spreader right here. That will be pointing into the mana pool. And actually, let's go ahead and grab the Wand of the Forest and make sure that this is pointed at it. And now I have a lot of coal blocks here. I guess I don't need that many. I can do this with 1 stack. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate these endo flames, and then I'm going to start adding endo flames to the mana spreader until it starts filling up. So we'll quickly drop all of this stuff. Now all of those are active, and now we're going to take these and start binding them to the Elven mana spreader. Now, I know that it'll take at least 8 of them. Can I hit that one, please? Thank you. So with 8 of them, it's actually going fairly high. So let's go ahead and put some more on here. Still doing okay. Whoops. Okay, this is not working as easy as I had hoped it would. So I think we're up to 12 now. Still doing okay. $16 endo flames. We're still keeping up. Oh, we still have one that's bound here. So now, let's just see here. This one still bound to that one. Still doing okay. So I'm just going to quickly glance through all of these, make sure that they're all bound to that Elven mana spreader. Oh, that one's not. Okay, so at that point we're at 16 of them. This thing is just barely keeping up with 16 endo flames. In fact, it looks like it's not keeping up. Now we can put a mana lens on these things. Now these, I was just putting the mana lenses on these. These are not actually good mana lenses. We need to change them to something a little bit better. The efficiency lenses are the ones that are, is it potency? The potency lens. So we need a rune of fire. Now these increase the amount of mana that a spreader can move with each burst. So I suppose I'll make up one of those and see what that does to the mana spreader then, because it looks like it can't quite keep up with 16. So I've made up a potency lens. We're going to put this on here and now see what that does. Now we can see the mana spreader is moving a lot more mana, but it's possible, kind of looks like these guys have stopped generating mana. So let's go ahead and throw another stack of coal blocks out here. So get our system going again. And now let's see. Now it would appear that we are keeping up just fine, so we can do 16 endo flames with one Elven mana spreader with a potency lens, and I did not want to pick those up. So I did a little bit of mining here a little bit ago and emptied 13 mana tablets while I was mining. That is an awful lot of mana to run through. So I've got the hydrangeas charging, a couple of them down there. I've got these guys charging over here. So I'm hoping that once I get through, I think I had 9 stacks of blocks of coal with me. I'm hoping once I get all of those burned up that these guys will be full. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm going to check and see how the episode is doing for length, and I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I just realized something. These two mana spreaders over here are pumping their mana into this Elven spreader. So we're actually getting 16 endo flames worth of mana from that direction, hitting the back end of this mana spreader. So when I got it down to just the 16 over here, this guy's not struggling at all. So that's kind of interesting to see that. But, yeah, what I was thinking there. But it looks like I screwed that up. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I'm going to continue setting up these endoflames with the Elven spreaders, and I'll let you know how the overall ability of the Elven spreaders turns out. So I went ahead and laid out another stack of endoflames. I have another stack of them here if I should happen to decide to use them. But endoflames are a little bit hard to maintain because they do use a burnable fuel. Now if we had a blaze farm or something like that, it might be a little bit easier to do this, but we don't currently. And 128 endoflame still does not produce a lot of mana for the amount of time that it takes. Now what I found out on these Elven mana spreaders is that even with the potency lens, 16 endoflames ever so slightly pushes the capacity of the mana spreader. 15, the mana spreader will keep itself empty. So it's kind of a toss-up whether it's worth having the extra endoflame on these Elven mana spreaders. Now the regular mana spreaders, they're the same way with 8. So 8 endoflames will keep them full, and 7 they will stay empty. So yeah, it's one of those things. But I ran through 9 stacks of coal blocks, and I basically filled 9 mana tablets. So each one of these mana tablets is a stack of coal blocks. Like I say, this is a little bit unrealistic to try to keep these endoflames fueled. So because of that, we are going to be looking at improving our mana generation in the next episode, because we are pretty much out of time for today. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on, be sure to leave that down in the comments. And don't forget about Patreon. The link is in the description, and I will see you next time. Bye.